Promote your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News. Hit me, Sam Ant, at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. Let's go.
Yeah. Being a female hip hop pioneer, not only in the Bay Area but beyond, we lost another female hip hop pioneer out in Tennessee, as Gangsta Boo. Can you speak on how you felt when you heard the loss? Any fond memories that you may have had with Gangsta Boo, and how you just feel about the entire situation of a lot of? It seems like there's beginning to be a shift, not only in hip hop but female hip hop, where we're starting to lose some people, good people, and the transition is looking kind of scarce. I'll put it that way. So, what do you think about the entire thing?
Wow, that's a really good question. You know, it's interesting because seeing a woman, go like that in hip hop, that kind of have my eyeballs going up, and I look in the spirit a lot of times to try to see what God is doing, um, and it just made me think about, wow, is this a message? Because we've gotten so empowered as women. It's too much women empowerment. I think we are over empowered, to be honest with you. And I love women. I have a women museum. But I refuse to just make the museum, her museum, to be only women. I women and girls, great. Prioritizing minority girls and women, because we have to keep a certain amount of Black women to be role models that are positive, for our future. Otherwise, if we only seeing this foolishness, sex, money, alcohol, drugs, booty popping, stripping, stanking, humping the air, smoking. Every time you turn on the TV, somebody smoking a bong or this and that. If we continue to see Black women doing that, and that's all that these girls is seeing, it's not fair to them. So, so I definitely try to address and highlight Black women based around this museum situation, bringing this up as we are talking about Gangsta Boo. But we also have a community wellness element to the museum. We're for the overall community, the wellness of the overall community, which is preventing violence, keeping a healthy statute, having those conversations, and for arts, healthy arts, how to use it in a positive way. So my back to the point of this over empowerment piece, that kind of came in my mind, but it was just so sad, to just know that one of my peers, basically, and a woman peer this time, left. And that was the first thing that went through my head, is like, wow, a girl now, because the hip hop, it's not surprising for people, unfortunately, in this entertainment business, and especially in hip hop, when things happen, because of, energy is real. If we continue to put and sow into the earth, dark energy, then dark energy comes back to get us. Unfortunately, that's just a law. It's a law that no one could ever change. And whether we see the results, or we hear about the results, or we don't, it's coming back. So, if we're continuously, sowing seeds that are not healthy in the atmosphere, then the results, unfortunately, is going to be based on what that is. So, but I never really listened to Gangsta Boo's music. I kind of put a deaf ear to hip hop for a very long time, because I got tired of hearing the same stuff. I'm the type of person, I like to advance. I like to grow. And when I seen that, it just seemed like everybody's pushing, the content that's just glorifying sex, money, alcohol, drugs, stripping, violence, bullying, being bad, being the baddest, and, this and that. It's like, oh my God, sometimes I just got to turn off from that, because I need to, as a grandmother, that I proudly say, I'm a grandmother of 6. My grandchildren are almost teenagers. Excuse me. My grandchildren are teenagers. I have 2 that are teenagers. And then there's 4 more, that's coming right behind them. So, as a woman in general, as a Black woman, that, I took pride in my mother saying, you Black, so you got to be so much better, than the other races, because they're going to put you in a box, and, you have to be able to stand up. And so just a level of Black woman pride. I just had, grew up with that. And just, of course, growing up in society, you have to have a well-rounded approach to this life, and you can't have a well-rounded approach in order to survive and be successful and healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, by only listening to one message, and so I had to cut off. So I never really listened to her as much as others may have, and not just her, but many others, because I just can't take no more. Everybody sound the same, it's recycle game, and it really ain't game no more, because you can only talk about, back in the day when I put out music, as I still am putting it out, it was okay to be sexy. I got a song called Can You Handle This? It was a little sexy song. I had my little fun, went through that little run for a second, but came back in. We didn't really just give away sex. It wasn't like, here, baby, come get it. I'm the nastiest, so come get me because I'm nasty.
Right.
I can hump you the best. I got the wet ass P, P-U-S-S-Y. I just, that's just, it's untasteful to me. I don't want the public seeing me be nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me? It's like, I can be stanky. I can be nasty too sometimes. And I am, I'm woman, all woman, every bit, and love me a brother. You know what I mean? And then have plenty of it and know how to take care of it the way it's supposed to be done. And it don't take a whole lot to get it done. You feel me? But I don't want the world seeing me be nasty. That's, to me, is too much. That's a little too much. So that's just what it seemed like. Everybody want to be nasty, or they want to be bad, or they want to, do drugs or pop pills. And so I'm in the game, but I don't like the level of hip hop. I don't like what it's doing. It's sickening, actually. But with her, I just hate that she got caught up, in the middle of whatever it was that I've been hearing stuff, but you allegedly,
Right.
you hear all type of things, and I like how you guys represent it. How we share the stories of the positive things, and I wish I had a chance to. I think I've ran across her on tour before, very briefly, and there was people trying to put me in contact with her. I've talked to her on the phone a few times, but we never really got to get together in person, and I'm not really sure. I don't remember her being in the same era as me. I think she came behind me. Right. I think she was like maybe 10 years behind me coming in. You know what I mean? I was being longer, I believe, than her. So she wasn't really in the same group of peers that I was in, I believe.
Right. Now, what people were saying, allegedly, that it possibly could have been an overdose, we don't know. But not just her, but just in general, like, what part does hip hop play, in your opinion, if it does play a role in promoting this type of stuff? Though for years this has been promoted, drinking lean, popping pills, doing whatever, it's drinking a lot of alcohol, popping Molly, pills. In your opinion, does hip hop play a role? Is there blood on hip hop hands, for not particularly for her death, but deaths in general in hip hop that happen from overdosing?
So in my view, I don't think we can say it's hip hop. I think we can say it's the level of where we allow agendas to take us, and where we allow ourselves to get off our square. And then we kind of limit with the type of people that we hang out with and the things that we do in life. And we start worshiping the aura of unhealthy spaces when you don't have the balance, because you can have all kind of people in hip hop. They abuse you, they make you feel like you got hit, it's over in 2 weeks, okay, you done. Like they was talking about Sweetie, right? About her album. I heard somebody bringing that up in one of the YouTubes, because she only sold a couple of thousand compilation albums, and and she got all these followers and this and that. And I'm just like, who cares? Like, how many albums have you sold? You know what I'm saying? If she sold one, she sold a whole bunch before. So stop. you know, they'll beat the hell out of you in hip hop. You know, your fans, your peers, they come in your inbox talking about how they're gonna talk about my bags. Probably, you see my bags. I'm gonna talk about them first. These are natural bags under my eyes. I was born with these, just like this. It's so cute. I got a granddaughter who has them too, just like me. She's 6. But anyway, and she looked just like me. It's so cute. But bottom line is, you know, this is what it is. You know, you got to know how to love yourself. And unfortunately, the hip hop, the aura of hip hop and entertainment and media, you know, everybody wants to be, you know, you're supposed to be perfect. And, you know, you got outsiders giving their opinion on what you should look like, what you should wear. You got to be strong in this game. You know what I mean? And that's where I believe the influence of hip hop and media in general, you know, can mess you up because you ain't thinking, and it's sad because like you can't really blame it on hip hop. You can't blame it on the people. You have to blame it on you. We fall off. We get caught up in foolishness. We get caught up in, you know, trying to be like stars. We get caught up in trying to be like the other star if we're a star. Baby, I can care less what these other people do. I just do me. If I sell 10 albums, I'm happy as long as I produce one. And the first thing I say if somebody got something to say is, how many albums have you made? Or what music did you produce? Or what kids did you raise? You know, or what grandkids have you connected with? What have you done in your life? You have to know how to pick up what you've done well in your life. And, you know, and then you don't worry about what people say about you or what they doing or what they think. Because, you know, you can't please everybody. And that's what the hip hop aura tends to present itself as when you fall into it. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I hope I answered the question right.
Yes, ma'am. You answered it honest, so it can't be more right than that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time to transition talking about the media and the poison and the dangers of media. And speaking about Ms.